All right, everybody, welcome. I am going to get started here in a moment, just watching GBPAUD, seeing what it's doing just up and down here in this little range. Want to make sure it doesn't pop too hard. Looks like it wants to keep coming down. Let me get rid of this. All right, so this is JRock, your host, and welcome to the call. I'm going to do a little bit of live trading and show you what we are doing with this trade and why I think it's going to do what I think it's going to do. Let me jump over here and I will join you here in 1 second. Make sure this audio is off. That way I can see what's happening here. All right, so jump to the longer time frame here. Give me 1 second. I know I'm looking at a bigger screen. I can minimize, cascade a couple of them. Let me get rid of these. And I'm just going to leave it like that. All right, so zoom out. That's what we're looking at, and it's finding resistance. I'm on the 1 minute chart right now, finding resistance on the 100. But here's what I was seeing yesterday, and I showed you guys this that we're on the call. The 34 period moving average is right here, and you can't really see it on this chart. Maybe if let me try LMFX and see if that will work. And give me 1 second, I'm still coming to you. I'm just trying to work something to see if I get a better view on another chart. Waiting on it to open up. Guess LMFX is having trouble today on their MetaTrader because I can't seem to get it open. Won't load up. Interesting. All right. I'll just come back here to this one. You should be able to see what I've got. Make sure your annotation is off, please. Clear others' drawings. And let me see. Hang on 1 second. All right, can you guys hear me okay? I'm looking at the chat window and everybody should be muted. Sorry about that. Thanks, Alan. All right, so see what we're looking at here. So on the month time frame, we actually came down. It's not showing on this this chart screen, but we came down and we touched the 34 period moving average on the monthly, so the 34-month moving average. And then we came back up. So I figured that we were going to rally and we're going to break through this. And here's the week time frame. We have broken above this resistance level right here. You look at that resistance level right there, and then you got a monster breakout candle right here. So that broke out, and then we had another, went all the way to resistance. We pushed through resistance for the month of March. We came all the way back down. We opened, we came up to resistance, and we come back down right here. Now, I don't think we'll come all the way back down here. It is a possibility we could come all the way down to 1.81, or even all the way down here to the support level, 1.78. I don't think that's going to happen. Why? Well, it's simple, because we broke out, we came to resistance, we're trading sideways, and we're going to break out again, just like Euro USD did before. Can you guys hear me? If you, yeah, I hear people saying sound is good. So somebody type in the chat box that they need to select their audio. Sorry about that. Okay, so trading sideways is normal. Whenever you have a breakout and you hit resistance, you trade sideways. You may pull back a little bit. Not going to pull back very far, but in the grand scheme of things, GBPAUD moves very strong, and 100 points here and there, up and down in a day. So let's go to the day chart, and here we are. We're right at the 20-period moving average. Now we're under the 5 and the 10 right now on this candle. Today we opened here, we ran all the way up, and then we hit the resistance right at the 10. I thought we'd break out and then run. We may still do that today. We may end up here and close at the end of the day here, and then the next new day candle comes down just a little bit and shoots up. That could happen today. I don't see it breaking down and coming all the way down here. It could, but I don't see it happening. Now, let's go to H4. We came right down and just surpassed the 100 on H4 on this chart. This is FinPro. Well, on LMFX or another broker, my 100 is down a little bit more. So let me just see where JAFX is. I know I don't really mess with these guys, but I'm just going to look on GBPAUD H4. Okay, so see, theirs is a little bit lower. Bring that over. All right. So you see where theirs is right here. That 100 is sitting at 1.8112. And I said do a buy limit at 1.8112, but I'm entering a sell limit right here just in case it comes down. We may be at the bottom right now. We may very well have already hit the bottom, and then we're just going to go back up. I don't know yet for sure, just kind of playing it out, but I did a sell limit here. I'm sorry, a sell at market on this to come down and then put a buy here. So I'm going to have a hedge in place in case this thing decides to get a wild hair and drop all the way down here or down here. So if it tumbles and falls very hard, you know, we're finding support right here. So that's why I'm figuring we're going to bounce up. But I've got a buy limit at that level on this. You see my buy limit right over here. My buy limit is at this level right here. So in case we come down to 112, 1.8212, then I'm going to pick up a buy order. But you see I have sells in place right here. So I'm selling it down and then going to pick up the buy, and I'm going to put a stop loss right above these sells in case we don't come down and we turn and rally. I'm going to be out of the trade. So protecting myself just in case we do get a strong rally. Now, H1, you see the previous candles, H1, they closed and opened at these points right here. We are right at that level. The wicks have come down to this place right where I'm in these sells, thinking that we are at the bottom. We could break down and come further, a little bit lower. Don't know how far. That's why we're just going to wait it out. If we come all the way down here to this point, see, that's the lowest wick that I've got in the last month. So this wick right here, let's see what that's going to say, if it'll let me see. No, it's not going to show me. Yeah, I'm trying to put my cursor on it, see if it'll show me. Sometimes it will. If I just hover my arrow over it, but it's not doing it anyway. All right, so the potential for us to come down, we're ticking down a little bit right now. Let me go 15-minute. See, we dropped when we plummeted. We came down, we held the 5, we traded sideways to the 10. That's what makes me think the bottom's going to fall out. We're going to go a little bit further down. So I have sells here, and I'm going to pick up a buy, and I'm going to be in a hedge. So the hedge means that I've got my sells up here and my buy down here, and I'm going to protect myself if the trade continues to fall. So I'm not just picking up a buy down here and trading it. They call it naked trading, one directional trading, where you get in on a buy, and then if it keeps going against you, you can lose. Well, a hedge means that you have a buy and a sell. If you're underwater, it means you did a buy up here and a sell down here. So you're negative in your positions. That means you're underwater. Well, if you do a sell here and it falls and you do a buy here, well, you're right side up. You have profit in the trade because you have the buy down below and the sell up top. So that's what I'm expecting to happen. That when it comes down, I'm going to pick up my buy, and from there, it will hopefully turn at that point and run, and then I will release my sell, but at least I'll have that profit. I've got to wait till the run exhausts itself, and I know for sure that we put in a double bottom or a triple bottom, and then after it's exhausted itself and it's confirmed a pivot point, then I'm going to release the sell side if I'm ready for it to go back up. And what I'll do is double down on the downside. So after I release the sell side, I'll double down, I'll do a buy. That's called hedging. But you got to know that your trade is done going that direction. It's exhausted itself. It's put in a double bottom. We could be putting in a bottom here. This thing could turn and whoop, run way up. So what I'm going to do actually is just in case, I'm going to put a stop loss on these. Let me go down to the 1 minute time frame, see what we've got. So, we could come down here, and if we do, I'm going to put a stop loss in about, 1.8236, so I can at least lock my profit in with these in case it runs back up, because it's already peaked through the 100 on the 1 minute time frame. So we're finding resistance there, but we've also got a lot of support in this area, okay, over the last couple of hours, last hour. All right, so let me look here and see what we've got on this. And if it starts tumbling, let's see, is this, just give me one moment while I'm putting in a stop loss here on this. I'm going to put it at 3.7. All right, let's go here. You should see that stop loss pop up here. There you go. And I'm actually doing that from my phone to keep it going here. So put both orders, and down here you see I put my stop loss in both right at this level. But it looks like it's going to break, so I could move my stop loss down here a little bit further and lock in a little more profit if I wanted to. We got to break below this point. If we break below 1.8228, I'm pretty confident then we'll come back down to this level, and my buy limit might be a little bit too low, my pending order. So that's my buy limit order. I could modify that price and put a little bit higher, but we'll wait and see. I can always delete it and add a buy limit order when I'm ready. Okay, you guys have any questions for me, you can ask, and I will be glad to answer them. Let me see while you're doing that. 237. All right, so jump over here, and I'm coming to your questions in 1 minute. So it's showing more weakness, and it's continuing to tick on down, which is good. A good thing. All right, I'm just lowering. It's coming down, so I'm just lowering my stop loss on these as well to 1.30. And this is called managing your trade. You want to make sure you manage your trades because I can't manage your trade for you. So if it's going in your direction, you need to move that stop loss down like I'm doing right now. Boom. So I'm going to lock that in right there in case it jumps up. Actually, that might be a little too low. I'm going to bump that up just a little bit. That was a little too low. There we go. Just in case I don't want to get stopped out, but I want to make sure I lock in my profit in case it turns, because GB pairs, they tend to turn and run pretty quickly in the other direction. But it looks good, like we're following on down, and everything should be good to go from here. I am just adjusting some more stop losses, so hang tight. Do 3, 2. It's called self-managing your trade. If you don't know how to self-manage a trade and move your stop loss down, you should be in demo and still learning to do basic orders and trade management. Otherwise, you will blow your account every time because you let your losses run and you cut your profits short. My goal is to teach you how to let your profits run and cut your losses short. All right, so on the 1 minute time frame, it's looking good, like we're getting in this channel. We may just start tricking on down in this channel between the lower Bollinger Band and that 5. That's a channel that I like to see. As long as it maintains in that area, we're good to go on the 1 minute time frame. We had resistance at the 100, so everything is still looking good. All right, let me jump over and see if you guys had any questions. All right, the entry for the buy limit, I put it in my chat room, and it is 1.82120. So it looks like we may bounce here. It didn't stay in that channel. And if it bounces up, it's okay. It'll take me out of my 2 sell orders right here, and I can continue to wait it out. So it's just, that's what I said. You got to keep moving your stop loss down. You say, well, JRock, why don't you just close your trade right now? Because I don't know if it's going to stop here and tumble and come down. I'm just going to keep a watch on it. You've got to know how to adjust your stop loss down and wait. Be patient. Let the trade work itself out. Because if I close now and then boom, it turns and drops 15 pips, well, you don't want to chase a trade. You chase a trade, you get in trouble. So see, that was just, it doesn't matter where it wicks. It's where the candle closes. So if this green candle closes down here, then we're good. And my stop loss might be still a little too tight, because if this jumps up and hits the 10, that ask line may end up hitting my stop loss and taking me out. And it's okay. Might be just a tad too tight. Looks like that's what it wants to do, is hit that line there and maybe come on back down. Or it could just keep going up. All right, took me out, jump. So we're going to wait and see. I still have my buy limit in effect right now, and it should have taken me out of all of my trades. Give me 1 second, and let me scan these orders. All right. So that where if it turns and tumbles again, then my stop loss was a little too tight. It's okay. I may get back in. I may not. I may just wait and see what it does. You don't want to be too much in a rush to do things. That's how you lose money trading. Take your time, be patient, and things will work out in your favor. All right. That being said, I'm going to wait for a minute and see how this plays out and decide what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to look at the Australia let's see, go up here to the 5-minute time frame. So now it looks like it wants to pick up, but it's still against that 10. So we had one close above it, close below it. So it was negated. You know, we're still at a bottom level right here. So this thing could break up. Just got to be patient. No rush. Let it play itself out, and we will be good. So the Australia dollar is dropping right now, which is why we're getting a little bit of a move up. Let's see if that is Swiss franc. So let's just take a look at the Australia dollar. Give me 1 second to load this template. And I'm looking at the hour time frame. Let me go to the day time frame. So as the Australia dollar runs, GBPAUD should go down. So we put in a head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders pattern on the Australia dollar, but we're going to find resistance. So I think the Australia dollar is going to continue to run up to here, 74.68. We're at 74.01. So that's another 60 points. Translated to the GBP pairs, you know, that could be another, that could be 150 points. For 68 points on this, it could be double or triple on a GBP pair. So let's see what's happening. Yeah, I still think we're going to come on down. It may pop way back up here. If it does, I'm going to get in for a sell back to the downside. All right. Let me see here. Got any more questions? Corey, you're saying which pullback? You would have to expand on that. Let me see. Elaborate. Yes, Amari, I'm looking for it to break down before it goes back up. Thoughts on GJ similar to GA? Yes, Serena. No women allowed on the 1-minute chart. 1-minute chart. You got to be a rare woman to handle the 1-minute chart, because as emotional as women are made up to be, this will make you crazy. Watching this up and down, and or crazier. You know, that YouTube video explains the wife hack. There's no woman that is less than a 4 crazy. I'm just kidding. Don't get offended. It's just a joke. But you want to laugh, you got to go watch that video. Yeah, I'll look at ECAD in a minute. I just want to watch this trade. I'm thinking we're going to break down. We're looking like we're getting ready to. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and enter a sell order. Let me do 5-0. Oop, not that. All right, so I'm just finger on the trigger, just waiting 1 second in case it pops up. A little bit comes back to me about 3 or 4 pips. Well, it's trailing off. It's okay. Don't chase it. Pops back up. It was only about 3 or 4 pips that it dropped. But if it pops back up, I'm going to grab some on the sell side. And let's see, you know, if it does that there, I'm just going to do it. Let's see. There we go. All right. So I entered sell. Let's just wait and see. It should do a continuation on down, and I'll be good. Let me jump over here. So just waiting a minute. Let that play out. And see where we go from here. All right. So just give it a second, let it play out. I think we're going to be good because we're getting lower highs. We are at the bottom here. It looks like, you know, we could get a bounce, but if it breaks down below, you know, I want to put a stop loss like up here in case it pops. So like 34, 35, put a stop loss on that. I may go a little bit higher, give up some more pips, just in case we break up stronger than anticipated. So let me go ahead and do that on this order. I'm going to modify that and say 1.823. I'm going to say 824. So 1.8240 on that order, just in case we pop and go all the way back up there. If we're putting in higher lows, you know, it may only come to this point, just a little bit above it, but it is picking up a little bit. So just got to be patient, let it play itself out. You know, even if you're giving up a few dollars, you're playing the higher probability setup and protecting yourself. Say, well, why don't you get into a buy right now? Because I really don't think it's going to go break out and run too far. I think the strength is to the downside. It's going to break through and tumble because of the other charts. The other time frames are showing sell-off. So we're at a low, so it looks like it could drop now. We could turn and run up like we did here, you know, when we come way down and turn and run up, so we could break out and run. If we do, I'm going to wait for it to relax for a minute and then I'll get in. But let's just wait and see. Plus on the 5-minute time frame, so we're right at the other levels of support. We're right at that 10. A little bit stronger pop. All right, so we're at 34. Let's see if it holds. And sometimes, man, this thing will jump 30 or 40 points just real quick, and you got to be ready for it. So we're putting in higher candle wicks. Each one is higher, but doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be a change in direction just yet. Because here you see a higher candle wicks, and then it dropped off. Then it came up, put in a higher one, but we still trended down. So doesn't necessarily mean anything. Just got to wait and see. Wait and see. $15-minute time frame. So this is looking good. We're right at that 5-period moving average on the 15-minute time frame. So that may be the end, and we're going to tumble. So we could keep coming down. That looks really good on that 15-minute chart. 30-minute, we could pop a little bit further, or as this drops, that 5 moving average will come down and touch the top of that wick, because this moving average is still moving right here based on the closing price of the current candle. So if you see that there, watch when it moves up and down, you'll see this wick right here moving. Wait till the price moves a little bit. See that end of that moving average dance just a tad, but it looks good that we may drop. And if we drop, this will come down and touch the top of that wick. All right. And I'm getting ready to switch over to a new platform called CTrader for a new broker that I have that I'm going to be using, trying out. So I will be switching over from MetaTrader 4 to CTrader. They've got a more advanced platform. The CTrader platform, it allows you to set your stop loss to not be triggered on a big jump. If it just jumps right up here and just the line touches your stop loss on MetaTrader 4, it will take you out. But on CTrader, it has to be a double entry. So a double purchase at your stop loss to take you out. So the line can't just jump and take you out like is with the case with many brokers on MetaTrader platform. So I like that. Or you could do it where the bid line, the bottom line down here, this is your blue line. The top line is your ask. That's the buyers and sellers. So you can set it where you're only getting taken out if the bottom line goes through your stop loss line, not just the top line. And I like that. Plus, the new broker has a near instant withdrawal, and you will be able to get a debit card when you register with their iAccount bank. And you get a debit card if you withdraw money to your debit card or to your bank account. You will have it available at an ATM anywhere between 3 minutes to 30 minutes. No more waiting for 2 to 3 weeks or wondering if you're ever going to get your money. So I'm pretty excited about that, but we're almost ready. I'm not ready to reveal that new broker yet, my friend, but I will share that with you. And I have different group leaders that are going to be helping with the process, because it's a new, well, a broker's been in business for 2 years, but they've only helped high profile clients with millions of dollars. So to take on thousands of people, they have to pay $150 to $200 to onboard every new client for the verification process. And so they don't want to have a big rush and people don't have their documents, and they're paying the verification company for every time they communicate with the registrant. We're coming down a little bit now, so looking good. So they want everybody to make sure that you have all your documents in a row and you only have to communicate one time, and your registration is seamless. Then you'll be good to go. But we'll be revealing that in the next 7 days. And then you can set up an account with them and trade. Yes, you can have CTrader app on your phone. I do have it, but their mobile app is not as cool as MetaTrader. So they're working on it, making it more user-friendly, but it is a nice app as far as professional traders go. It helps you calculate and see what your margin is per trade so that you don't get yourself in a bind. A lot of people like to over leverage. Gold is going down. Christo, that's what I believe gold is doing. I called a sell on it earlier. Let's see. I will share my screen. Let's see if I can share my screen here. Make me co-host. All right. So hang on one second, and let's see if I can share my screen on this app. Got that MetaTrader. So there's Spotware CTrader. This is a CTrader mobile app, and I've been trying it out, demoing. So my positions, you see the gold that I have there, and I called a sell on it. And I put in a buy for GBP. So I forgot about this, that I put buys in on this. I should have hedged with a sell, which I may do that now, but it's all good. I know it's going to eventually come back, so I can handle the drawdown because of the lot sizes I'm using. But that's what it looks like. So it shows you down on the bottom your entry price, bid and ask, and the margin that you've used on the trade. So right there in the top right under that blue sell dot, it says margin $133. So that is the margin requirement, or how much I've tied up of my money, $133. So it helps you protect yourself. And then you can put in a stop loss, take profit, etc. And it tells you the other trade, how much is involved in commissions, broker commissions, and swaps, etc., from carrying it over from one day to the next. So I really like this app. It is designed for professional traders. And if you tap that, put in your stop loss. So here you can change it to whatever you stop loss. You want to do a stop loss of 15 pips. You just type it in. You don't have to don't have to calculate the pips on your own. Let me mute everybody real quick. Sorry. Mute. All right. So hopefully you can still hear me. All right. Yeah, this is a C Trader. So I'll show you on my phone. Spotware C Trader app down here. And you can download Spotware C Trader and do a demo. And then when you get set up, it'll be really good for you. Let me double check. Oh, nice. So this is MetaTrader app. You know, it's much more colorful and cool and very user friendly. So C Trader is working on their mobile app. But now we're good in the money on this trade. So I may move my stop loss down. Let me see on this account. Yep, so I still have the buy limit in place there. I'm not going to do a stop loss on this because I've got a hedge. So that means I'm selling it down when it hits this level on this on the buy limit. When it comes down, let me see where we're at on the buy limit. Go to 15 minutes. So there's my buy limit down there. When it hits that, it's going to stay in the trade. So I have a buy and a sell, and I'll be profitable. I will not be underwater where my buy is on top and the sell is on the bottom. I've got a buy here and a sell on top. So that means I will have the profit from the sell all the way down here. And that's called a hedge of protection. So I can wait it out and see how far. And if it comes way down here and it finally bounces here and then comes and does a double bounce and looks like it's ready and it's putting in a bottom and it's getting ready to go up, I close out my sell side and I double down on my buy side. So the buy will be losing money, but the sell will have made money all the way down. That's a hedge. That's how you protect yourself. But you got to know that when you close out that sell side, that it's definitely going back up when you double down on the buy side. Because if you double down and you over leverage and then it falls again to the next level, friend, you're in trouble. You blow your account. So you've got to take your time, use proper risk management, 0.01, 0.02, 0.05. I prefer 0.10. That is $1. 0.10 per $1,000 of equity in your account. Okay, so let me jump back over here to Spotware and I'll just show you. So the only problem is with Spotware, if I go to watch list and I just say, let me see the chart, well, that's what it looks like. And so I can't color my lines, so my moving averages are all the same color, but it's, you know, it's a nice looking design, nice looking screen. I can hit the buy, hit the sell. You know, I can enlarge, touch that button and enlarge the chart on my screen. So you see I've added moving averages, but I've already told them, hey, you guys need to make it to where I can change the colors, change the background in black and put colors on my screen. But you see the RSI down on the bottom as well. And, you know, you can move that around. I just touch it with my finger, move it around, squeeze it in. I can squeeze the chart in like that if I want to. Scroll back in time. So you can do a lot with it. Squeeze it in or shut it down. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'll be making more videos about that in the coming days. And it also gives you market hours links, trade statistics, if you're trading, your trade history. And then it tells you about the euro, US dollar, gives you some information about it. So whatever trade you're in, the sentiment on the euro USD is 66% believe it's a buy, or it's a 66% buy and a 34% sell. That is C Trader Spotware. Goodbye. Stop share. Come back to share over here. And let's see, where am I at? Turnkey. All right, so we did drop and we came back up while we were doing that. That's all right. All right. So I put in my buy limit down further. I told you where it's at, 82.12 is where my buy limit is at. So we're still kind of up and down right here. This is a 30-minute time frame. Here's the 5-minute time frame. So we're still kind of following, touching the 5 period moving average on the 15-minute time frame. So we dropped, traded sideways into the 10, we dropped again, and we should keep dropping following the 5 until we do an exhaustion candle drop that's kind of like this right here, where drop, drop, sideways drop, and then boom, we have a big long drop, and then it'll run back up, and then we start a new uptrend. So we haven't had that yet. So that's why I'm believing that we'll still go down. My buy limit, I may take that off because it might be too close. I might just wait. It's only 18 points down. I think when we drop, we came from way up here, which was, call it 83.25, all the way down to 82.20. That was a 100-point drop. So we could do the same, come down another 50 points. So my buy limit might be too close. I may end up changing that. Let me say buy limit price, modify. And I just pulled the trigger on it. So I'm going to say 81.85 just in case. Modify that bad boy. So that dropped it down a little bit further. We'll just see. So I modified my buy limit to 81.85 just because I'm running with the trade. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to figure out which way we're going to go, how long it's going to drop. Here's the 5-minute time frame. So we dropped hard, bounced up. We may come down and bounce again, or it may take a little while to do this, just like it did here. It dropped hard, bounced up, went up, still trailing under the 20. So now we're sitting on top of the 5, but we're at the 10. So we got to figure out which way it's going to break. If it breaks down, we're good to go. It's going to go to the next level down. If we break up, well, then we're probably going to go up here, maybe go up further. And that's where you got to adjust your trade. All right, so it looks like we're good. We're breaking down below the 5 on the 5-minute time frame. So we're good to come on down, and we'll probably break down further unless some news hits or Trump tweets. Move the market quickly. Let me look at something else here. Oh. All right, so just waiting to see this drop. Let's see, 15-minute time frame. Say 15-minute time frame. We got 7 more minutes till the next 15-minute candle form, so we could drop a little bit and then trail sideways, pick up just a tad, and then drop off. And it's just a slow drop off as we continue to hold that 5-period moving average on the 15-minute time frame, and it just slowly does a come on down. So just going to be patient and let that play out. Let's see, modify. All right. A little bit more of a bounce could come to the 10, could hang tight right here. It's not where it wicks, it's where the candle closes. And like I say, the GBP pairs are very volatile. So they move 5, 10, 15 pips very quickly and come right back down. So if you have your stop loss too tight, it'll jump up, take your stop out, and then run back down. So my stop loss on this, I don't have it on that. That stop loss is for the buy limit, I think. No, let me see. No, that is for that. So I may move that up higher to 48. Yeah. May move that just a little bit higher because get it out of that range of a pop just in case it jumps up here, comes to this point. I don't want it to stop me out. So I put it kind of up here where we've got the second high. So this is a higher point, and then that's the highest point. I don't think it'll come to that point, but if it does jump, then we'll come back down, boom, and we'll start a new uptrend. Got 5 more minutes till the next 30-minute candle forms. So we're still looking good. We could drop right here and then follow on down because we're still under the 5 on the 30-minute time frame. So I still believe we are going to come down. Plus we're still under the 5 on the 1-hour time frame, and it hasn't caught up. So it's way up here. See where my stop loss is. So I don't think we'll come to that level. So we could come up a little bit. All right. All right. So H4, that's where I got my sell right there at that because we were watching that tumble. So it's still pulled up a little bit. We still got some area. I mean, it could be support. We may not fall. It could rally. Could rally. It could break down. So we're at that pivotal point. And that looks really good, holding that 20-day moving average on this time frame. Looks real good. I mean, if it breaks down, we're going to come down pretty good. But if it bounces off of this, runs up, so we don't want to sell it too hard on the sell side. We want to be more prepared for the buy side. And look at that. So if it doesn't break back down here, we may continue to push higher. That's getting in a nice little trend. Depends on where these next candles close at. So I'd be willing to get out of my sell and get into my buy, but I'm going to be patient. Just watching and waiting. Just be patient. Let's see how this thing is going to play itself out. Let's see here. And the US dollar is still going up. So we could go, US dollar could go 108.39, could go 111.96. Boy, that's a good looking chart. And it's running right now, just popped US dollar against the Japanese yen. That thing, it just popped over the last 20 minutes. So on the day chart, that US dollar could come all the way up here, 109.20, over the next several days. So the US dollar is picking up steam. looking good. Anybody in a UJ buy, you should be okay. Continue as it continues to go. Look how it's holding that 5. So the UJ might be a good buy. Going to be a continuation move. Going to continue to hold that 5. May have a little pullback here to 107.17. It's not very far, but it's looking good. Yeah. Let's see. Go back over here. So that was just a fake out, looking good. Like it, as long as it doesn't hold on these moving averages and turn and start picking up, then that means we're starting to get a turnaround. So it's got to stay under here and stay under this 5 on the 1 minute time frame and start dropping again. Then we know we're going to keep coming down. Looking good. All right, just still waiting on this. You got to be patient because it'll fake like it's wanting to turn and run, but then it drop bottom will fall out just like it did here. But come on down. So we're still at this resistance level. It's got to break out and come, and then we still have this resistance level coming, the 200 on the 1 minute time frame. If I can get that thing to cooperate. There we go. So we still have that resistance level to overcome, and it may stop short and come on down. So we're just waiting. To see what we've got. I don't think it'll pop all the way up here. That's where I have my safety net just in case. And if anything, it could pop right here. That'd be below that low right there. So we're still in that zone, just waiting. Let's see what the other time frames are showing. All right. So at the 34 on the 5 minute time frame, it could put in a long wick right here. Boop, drop and fall on down. Let's just see. 15 minute. Push, push, push. All right, so it's creeping. Starting to show breaking above like we do here when you break above these moving averages, but you still have the 10 on the 30-minute time frame to navigate. And this is a new 30-minute candle that just formed. Doesn't mean that we're going to rally just yet. You just have to wait Be patient. Definitely pushing. All right, so it cleared the 200 on the 1 minute time frame. May come back down here. And the thing with the GB pairs, a lot of times when they start moving in a direction, they don't relent. And so you've got to just hold. So I could grab an extra sell here if I wanted to, but I'm in at 28 and that's 41. So that's really only about 14 points. I normally wait about 30 points before I get in on a double down. So it's still not in my comfort zone. I do have my stop loss. That's if I double down, but I do have my stop loss. Remember, I said I don't want to sell it too heavy because I ultimately think it's going to go up. But I think it'll come down in the short term before it goes up. That's my expectancy based on where we've been. But I still think we're close to a reversal. All right. Yep. Let's see where we're at. So see how it's pushing and it's holding right above. We got 3 candles right here because it had to navigate that 200. So we might be getting ready to confirm. If it doesn't break down right here, we might be getting ready to confirm a new move to the upside. So I'll just be out of this. If it hits, take me out of that. I'm in at a 0.5 lot. So I didn't go too heavy, but I'm going to wait for confirmation that we're not going to actually just be a fake out and take out and then it drops hard, because sometimes that's what it'll do when you're not expecting it. So there's your 5 minute, your 15 minute had a big push up, your 30-minute time frame still got that 10 to navigate. So that's what makes me think that we may not do a continuation up just yet. And the hour time frame, we still have that 5, so we're still under the 5. So it could be, when it starts dropping like this, it gets under the 5, has a hit to the 10, and then it'll keep trailing under that 5 until finally it breaks down. Well, we have put in a lower low, so we could run up and put in a lower high and then come down again, because that's what's crazy about the pound pairs. It'll drop 50, 75, run 50 to 75, drop 100, run 80. So you can make a lot of money with the pound pairs if you're on the right side of it each time. All right, so it's relenting a little bit. There we go. May stop here and bounce again. Just got to wait and see. And I may move my stop loss to this point, but let's just see how it goes. And here's where many people get in trouble. I could add to it, add a sell here, but then you over leverage and boom, it turns and it goes this way. And now you're in a double bind, which is a common occurrence. People put too much on the line at too narrow of a price point. So I got in at 1.82, call it 2.8 274. And then to get in only 10 or 15 or 5 points, that's when you get yourself in trouble. Wait 30 points to get into another position. Don't be greedy. Greed kills me every time. I'm coming back to the chat. Sorry, guys. Let's see where we are. How much credit do I give trends on the 1 minute chart? Whenever they get into a trend, it can be pretty reliable. The major moving averages like your 50, 100, and 200, they have validity or reliability across all time frames. Now, obviously, the lower the time frame you go, the less reliable a trend can be because of the volatility of a specific pair. So the 20 and 34 and 50 really may not be as good of an indicator or moving average on the 1 minute time frame, but the 5 and 10 are pretty decent. And you can scroll back in time. Let's just see. Scroll back in time and see when it gets in a move, then it trends down and it holds under the 5. Boom, bounces right in here and keeps coming down, and it respects certain moving averages. So the 20, then it respected the 34, came on down, and then it got a little further down. So hang tight 1 second. Let me take this phone call. All right, sorry about that. So we're still now, we found a little resistance here. Now what this resistance was, what could that have been? Well, let's jump to another time frame. I don't see anything right there. Jump to the 15. I don't see anything right there. 30, nothing. Hour chart, this could be setting up so that when the next hour candle forms and we drop, this will come right down and touch the tip or almost touch it, like side swipe it. Okay. All right. So still nothing on the longer time frames, H4. So let's go back to H1, M1. So we've got a little support here that it's showing, but we still have resistance at this level. Whether it breaks up or breaks down, that is what we have to determine. 1 more second, please. All right, so it is breaking down. That's looking good. We're going to hold under it. So it doesn't matter where it wicks, it's where the candles close. It's not a pending order anymore. All right, still holding. What's up, buddy? All right, so still in this zone, just waiting for this. Going to see, sometimes you get stuck in a trade and you just got to wait it out. That's what I said a little while ago. We could get in that range on the 5-minute time frame, and it could keep going, channeling up and down. So we're kind of stuck right here. It's a 5-minute time frame. We may find resistance, come on down. We probably will come back here. I may get out of this trade if it comes down a little bit lower, and not play the downside further, because it may come down and put in